An open letter to Sean Hannity. Dear Sean, in response to the train wreck known as the hashtag Trump train, you had this to say in your radio program. Quote, if in 96 days Trump loses this election, I am pointing the finger directly at people like Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, John McCain, John Kasich, and Ted Cruz if he won't endorse, and Jeb Bush, and everybody else that has made promises they're not keeping. End quote. I personally disagree in policy with John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, Paul Ryan, among others. And one of conservatives' biggest frustrations is the way the RINOs attack and try to undermine conservatism, but don't channel that towards the Democrats and the White House. As a self-proclaimed conservative, I would expect you to be upset at any RINO that tries to undermine conservatism and hope you use your influence behind the microphone to rally the conservative movement. But unfortunately, with the choice of words, you show you've swayed far away from the conservative path. The words I'm referring to are, quote, and Ted Cruz if you won't endorse, end quote. You claim your anger at the above-mentioned people are, quote, because I have watched and witnessed to the point of incredible frustration. I have watched these Republicans be more harsh towards Donald Trump than they've ever been in standing up to Barack Obama and his radical agenda. That has doubled the debt, that has resulted in 51-year low in home ownership in this country, the percentage of homes that are owned by Americans, the lowest labor participation rate since the 70s, and that has led to millions of Americans in poverty and on food stamps and out of the labor force. You claim you, quote, watch these Republicans be more harsh towards Donald Trump than they've ever been in standing up to Barack Obama, end quote. Most are guilty of the above charges, but by you putting Ted Cruz in the mix, who wakes up every day and uses all his strength to fight for the conservative movement and against the abuse of power and reckless regulations of this administration, is astonishing and shows you don't really care about conservatism, rather you care about Donald Trump. In case more proof is needed, you continued, they did nothing, all these phony votes to repeal and replace Obamacare, show votes so they can go back and keep their power and get reelected. Sorry, you created Donald Trump, all of you, because of your ineffectiveness, because of your weakness, your spinelessness, your lack of vision, your inability to fight Obama, your fear of being blamed for the government shutdown, end quote. Ted Cruz stood up to the establishment and filibustered for 21 hours on the Senate floor in his fight against Obamacare. Ted Cruz stood up to the leadership in his own parties to fight the Gang of Eight. Yes, the one that Trump was funding its members. And you have the audacity to say, quote, because of your ineffectiveness, because of your weakness, your spinelessness, your lack of vision, your inability to fight Obama, your fear of being blamed for a government shutdown, end quote. You end off, quote, honestly, I am tempted to just say I don't support any of these people ever, end quote. For any conservative to say he isn't supporting someone that doesn't stop fighting for the conservative movement because he won't endorse someone who has been funding opponents of conservatism all his life, that person has swayed so far off the path of conservatism, and it's sad to say, but unfortunately the person many believed cares for the conservative movement, aka Sean Hannity, cares for nothing more than Trump and his career. In this time of need, we see so many people swaying from the conservative movement. We must stay strong and show our warriors we are behind them. I deeply encourage everyone to do their utmost to show support, either by donating or at least sending a letter of support to Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, Ken Cuccinelli, among our other warriors. Thank you.